So what your assignment is asking you to do is to fill in, survey historical existing documents, legal, ethnographic, field, experimental, mixed methods, field research, interview, cross-sectional, longitudinal, time series, quasi-experimental, non-reactive, expert witness, all the way down. If I understand it correctly, and I'm going to reread it, you need to have 20 different articles. I'm not sure that overlap will be allowed. Ask your professor. It indicates that this first field shows you what it should look like. So here they have found that this happens to be a .edu document and a research using this particular survey. They went in and in addition to this definition, they added on certain things. They added, like here it said collection of historical facts. You would probably put a period, the next space, enter what it is your particular study found, what are the quantitative elements, the qualitative elements, the chief characteristics. Most of this information can be found in the methodology, so you should be able to pull that right from the methodology of the article. And then, as I understand it, the examples you will present what you found in APA format. So if you could just make sure with the professor that this is the step one is exactly what you need to do, and that you need to do 20 of them, that would be two really big questions. If this is a lot, so the 20 would make sense. Now, as a librarian, you're asking me, Rhonda, how can I find these things? So let me take you over here. Library resources. I'm not sure entirely what your topic will be, but of course your search should be on your topic. I'm going to use EBSCO article databases. That's all of EBSCO at one time. That may or may not help you out with too much, but maybe just perfect. Here we're looking for something historical, some sort of historical event, something about a social over time period. So I think it's criminal justice. I'm just going to put in criminal justice and history. Actually, I'm going to kind of do it like this. I'm going to put a truncation mark so it gets history, historical, etc. I'm doing this blind without testing myself on this. The next thing you want to do before you even read this, and I see you're a little overdue. So let's go here with full text. Let's go with references available, and let's go with scholarly and peer-reviewed. A scholarly article, a scholarly journal doesn't make it a scholarly article, but with this setup, you'll know immediately whether or not it'll fit. Okay, so let's look. This happens to be a mixed method study, which you need to know about, the criminal histories of missing persons. I don't know if you could use this for both. That would be a professor question. I'm going to click on this. I'm going over here to the PDF. This is going to be a very important part of everything. I'm sorry, I said part of everything. I'm getting an odd phone call here. I'm moving over. There's the introduction, the background material. These are all very important things. You might be able to use it to illustrate something in your student notes. But what you're looking for here is the methods. What did we do? What did they use to find this information? What kind of procedure was implemented in the statistical analysis? These are the sections that will mainly answer C, D, E, and F. And then you're going, how am I going to cite this? Well, you're going to go over here where it says Cite. You're going to select APA, and you're going to copy and correct it. I'm going to include one of my APA cheat sheets. One side is a checklist about how you check things. It takes you through the author, which is correct, the date, which is correct, the capitalization for the titles is correct. This is all correct. This part is not correct. All you have to do is take this out. I don't think I have that updated, but that would be the DOI number. This little extra is just added in and doesn't need to be needed. So I'm going to make a copy of this and put it in the email back to you. I hope that makes sense. Just everything that's included in this section over here, put it with your topic. The existing document I'd have to really look at. A collection of analysis. Typically the data has already been published. Reanalysis of data. You might put in something like the word report or an existing report that has been published about your topic, and this may be somebody going over it. Sometimes it's called a review. Legal, if you search with the terms law and legislation. If I used ethnographic, I would put an ethno and put an asterisk, and that might help you find more things. Experimental is its own word. Experimental method might be a phrase you would use. Mixed methods, we already found one. Field is also a word. Field research, I would use that with my keyword. Interview is also something you can use in a keyword. And so on and so on. I think this all will totally kind of fit. What you need to do is try to find, if you indeed need all 20 of these, find all the ones you can, and then write me back about the ones that are troubling you, and I'll work with you that way. So I hope this 6-minute video gets you started, and the questions I ask you to ask your professor, make sure you ask just to make sure. Anyway, have a good night.